He actually provided some input, or he advises the Prime Minister of UK, which is Margaret Thatcher. So Tuan Mahathir wants to have the same setup here in Malaysia, where academia actually provides input to the government. So that's why they actually formed up the ATC in Kuala Lumpur. So we have been doing quite well. In 2010, they asked us to form up as a faculty first. So in 2010, we transformed to become a faculty, teaching postgraduate students, which means masters and PhD students. And in 2015, to formalize our research in remanufacturing and sustainable production, we were asked to form a research center, which is called RESPECT, short for Remanufacturing, Sustainable Production, Sustainable Enterprise Center for Technology. Yes, we at the university, we love long names. Okay, so in 2016, we were given the opportunity to be spun off from UTM, to become a full-fledged company. So I get to choose who I can work with. So my team and I are all from the industry. I myself, before joining UTM, I was with Proton and Frodoa, looking after purchasing as well, and vendor development. I started impressed with the crowd. Bagus, bergerak. Anyway, what is it that we do? As a company, we focus in sustainable development in 3 key areas. Sustainable engineering, sustainable management, sustainable agriculture. That's the philosophy behind why we choose this stream. But in short, okay, in terms of Industry 4.0, we are doing something in that area as well. So what is it that we do? For the past 1 year, we developed standards with Syrian. My colleague from Syrian is here today inside the hall, so I need to be careful with what I say. So we developed standards in innovation, we developed standards in Lean, TPM, and obviously we have one standard here, which is on Industry 4.0. This is the standard that MITI has been basically using to set up the national policy. Okay? In short, when it comes to Industry 4.0, we are the ones that actually made the country's document. Okay? So who are our clients? As I mentioned just now, MITI is one of the clients, ICU, MAI, and we do have some engagement with other government agencies abroad. Obviously, Western Cape is not here in Malaysia. Okay? Alright, enough about us. Let's talk about the word revolution. Okay, I'm a lecturer, so this is going to be a lecture. Okay, now, so the word revolution here has 2 distinct meanings. One is to overthrow the government, which is not what we're trying to do today. Okay, and the other is the dramatic and wide-reaching change in conditions, attitudes, or operation. Okay, so the keyword here is dramatic and wide-reaching change. You know, this is not dramatic and drama, it's 2 different things. We're not talking about someone running away and merajuk ke apa, no, that's not the case. Okay? So what is it that we think, other words that can best describe revolution is these 3 words. Radical change, complete shift, and breakaway. Breakaway from what is it that we do today. So whatever that we do today, we need to do something new. Then it is considered as a revolution. So when we talk about the 4th industrial revolution, we talk about a new way of doing things. Far and beyond than improvement. Okay? Now, that's actually someone who actually started using this word. Okay? So the person that actually started using this term is Klaus Schwab in his book on the 4th Industrial Revolution 2016. He's the chairman of the World Economic Forum. And what he said about the 4th Industrial Revolution is that it is a fusion of technologies. Technologies coming together. And its interaction across physical, digital, as well as biological domains. Creating a world in which virtual and physical systems globally cooperate with each other in a flexible way, enabling absolute customization of products and services and creating new operating models. Obviously, the red things that I highlighted here are important things. Tak masuk exam. Okay, now, from this definition from Klaus Schwab, we actually started to use this word, this term of industrial revolution. What we see is one sentence: creating a new world. Okay. We are talking about a globalized society trying to come out with a new world, new conditions of doing business. Consumers trying to consume products differently. And so in Malaysia, what is our strategy? The strategy is to use Industry 4.0. Okay? Just now we talked about the fourth industrial revolution, and now we talk about Industry 4.0. So what is Industry 4.0? According to MITI, it is defined as the production or manufacturing-based industries digitalization transformation driven by connected technologies. Ya, maksudnya, the interpretation that we use is that this is Malaysia's fourth industrial revolution strategy for smart factories capable of producing individualized products using advanced mass production technology or cyber-physical systems and operating at high efficiency. Okay? So in short, the fourth industrial revolution is almost the same as Industry 4.0 in Malaysia. When we talk about Industry 4.0 and when we talk about fourth industrial revolution in Malaysia, it almost means the same thing, but it is not the same thing. One is describing a global phenomenon, and the other is describing Malaysia's effort to catch up with this global phenomenon. Okay. Do remember the Aborigines who live in forests. At one time, their technological achievements and civilization reach is similar to our ancestors, but they were left behind because of complacency. There's no actual push for them to evolve. Okay? Don't worry. Alright, now let's talk about Industry 4.0 in a bigger context. So before that, we need to understand what is Industry 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. Okay? So Industry 1.0 is very simple. It is steam powered and mechanization. Before that, people don't have any means to produce similar things. Okay? Everything is being used using crops. So Industry 2.0 is when we have electricity and we use jigs. So we have mass production coming in. 3.0 is mass production as well. So what is the difference between 2.0 and 3.0? One of the things that differs between the two industry revolutions is the amount of automation. In Industry 2.0, automation is visible, but it is localized to a certain process. Whereas in Industry 3.0, it is widespread automation due to globalized demand. Whenever you have a factory, and the same factory now tries to cater for a global production, the amount of automation that you need and require will be different if your product is to be consumed locally. Okay? We try to change the viewpoint of describing 4.0 so that companies like yourself can actually understand. We try to put in terms of products, okay, from the view of products. So when it comes to Industry 4.0, it differs significantly from the other three. Why? Because it has these three things: digitization, digitalization, as well as virtualization. Okay? From here, you can have cyber-physical systems, which will end up making your factory smart. Okay? So now, in terms of products, Industry 1.0 produces artisanal products. Craft tangan. Lebih kurang. Now, Industry 2.0 and 3.0 are mass customized, but there are differences in terms of the level and complexity of that customization. For Industry 2.0, mass customization refers to aesthetics. You can choose the color, you can choose the size. When it comes to Industry 2.0, you can choose the color, the size, as well as the performance. Okay? Now, when it comes to Industry 4.0, we have a new term. It is called individualized. The product is made only for you. Customers have evolved to become co-creators. They can basically design their own product. So your system will need to be able to catch up with this kind of demand. Why? Because it is already a global and connected world. If if you cannot produce solutions to individualized solutions to people, they will just go to other brands. Okay? Does it end there? Does it end at individualized products? No. Individualized product is the beginning of Industry 4.0. As we mature, products will become predictive. And at the end of Industry 4.0, once it has reached maturity, full maturity, products will be prescriptive. The difference between predictive and prescriptive, so the difference, the big difference is that predictive parts, they actually look at your behavior. Okay? They look at your, what is it that you do every day, so that they can predict your move, your likes, your desires, the things that you don't like to do. Okay? So that the system can actually advise you what would the next product be for you. Okay? Prescriptive will be able to match your needs with your current biological content. For instance, I have gout, so I cannot eat red meat. Then suddenly, if I like to eat steaks, the system will actually predict that I like steaks, which is not good for me. So predictive is still doesn't care about you as a person, but prescriptive will actually look at your chemical composition, your biological makeup. Okay? So the biggest question of them all, are you ready? So in anticipating this readiness, we have come up with the I 4.0 readiness guide. Okay, what it has 3 shift factors. This is common throughout Asia because it follows the same document. So we have people, process, and technology. So when we talk about people in terms of Industry 4.0 readiness, we have 2 trusts, 5 dimensions. Process, 3 trusts, 7 dimensions. Technology, 3 trusts, and 9 dimensions. What does this mean? We try to visualize this in a wheel. Okay? This is in public domain now. So we have a wheel with 3 trusts, process, people, and technology, and from there it branches out. Okay? So process, we talk about operations management, we talk about product management, we talk about supply chain management. Okay? So this has to do with process readiness. Is your process ready for 4.0? Then we look at the people angle. Is your people ready? Do you have the strategy for that transformation? Is your people trained in 4.0? Are your management ready? Do they have the policy that supports this? Is your transformation going to be sustainable? Meaning that your workers, are they going to be laid off or reskilled and upskilled? Okay? And finally, we have the technology shift, where we look at the 3 main things, which are connectivity, automation, and intelligence, in 3 areas. Shop floor, the production area, facilities, as well as enterprise. And the integration of all 3 across all platforms would yield to CPS level 5. Now, since it is a ranking thing, so we have 5 levels of readiness. Okay, once you go through this assessment, once you go through this assessment of practically this wheel, okay, the result will be given to you in terms of the level of readiness of your organization. Okay. So 0 is not prepared, okay? 1 and 2 is high risk or not really. Yes, you can still transform, but there's high risk for you to transform because you do not have sufficient foundation and strategy yet. Okay. Then 3 will be moderate risk, while 4 you are ready for the transformation. Now, what does this mean in terms of smart factory? Well, we try to match these 2 together. Okay? So, level 0 in I 4.0 readiness level yield artisanal products. Okay? You don't need to have a smart factory for that. Okay? So, level 1 and level 2, high risk and not ready, will actually usually will be coming from mass customized or I 2.0 factories. Okay? And ready, moderate risk readiness levels are coming from I 3.0 factories. What it means is that if you are ready for transformation, obviously you are not 4.0 yet. So if you are not 4.0 yet, you are not basically operating in a smart factory. Okay? So to be in a smart factory setting, you need to be above and beyond the readiness. Okay? So that's why at level 3 of smart factory, that is when your factory is able to do individualized products. And the workers will be individually monitored in terms of performance, in terms of their contentment. Okay? Then finally, the above two layers on top of that will be coming up with factories able to do predictive products as well as prescriptive products. Okay, since I have actually promised you that this will be a very short presentation, so I thank you.